Hey guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are watching season 1, episode 4 of Arcane. Last episode, we had a lot of stuff happened, okay? Lots of tears, lots and lots of tears. Hopefully, not as many tears. If there's some, we'll survive. But hopefully not as many as last week. We lost a lot of people. Vander, Clagger, Milo, Grayson. Our girls got separated. Just a lot of bad stuff happened, you know? I'm not going to dwell on it too much because I don't want to get emotional before the episode even starts. You guys know where we are. Let's see what happens next.
I don't know much about him.
Everything he built either exploded, melted, or toppled over.
What was that thing? It was cute.
He realized nothing he could accomplish could compare to the contributions of his students. That was his sacrifice.
Are you trying to tell him he needs to sacrifice?
Your hex gates have done wonders for our city, brought scholars from distant lands, reignited passions in arts.
How long has it been? Okay, so it's a big celebration. How long has that been since the last episode? Because we did not leave off on, you know, hex gates and such as that. Where did the ship go? Is it like a Stargate? So it says like some sort of celebration of progress that they've made in technology and stuff, right?
I'm working.
I mean, there's so much crime to thwart outside your family's tent. Well, at least you'll have front row seats to the speech.
Speech.
Yeah, he's giving a speech.
We really have to send it to anarchy.
Have fun hurting the drunkards.
Oh, they're drunk on one of those things. That doesn't seem like the best idea. It's the owl mask from the opening credits. They're from Silco's.
From your friend downtown.
Uh-huh. The what? Firelights? Who are they?
We have 5 minutes till they're out of there.
You ever seen this much shimmer before?
Shimmer?
They're expanding. Check for more below. Burn it all.
Oh, okay. So they know what it is. They named it. The owl guy wants to destroy it. That's Powder's sigil.
She's here.
Is she Powder? Is that Powder? Boom. Did she just kill those people?
Hi.
Okay, she's definitely, she's older.
I can't lose you.
Oh my god.
Why did you lose me? Jinx!
I want to fight.
You're not ready.
Did she shoot her? Is that Marcus? She's still scared. Did she kill her? That was a lot of things that just happened.
What do we have on the docket?
Hextech was supposed to bring magic into the life of the common man, and now it finally can. A Hextech gemstone.
It's so cute.
Holy sprockets.
This new version is stable and absolutely safe. The next chapter of Hextech.
The gemstone can power virtually anything.
That seems like a really bad idea for everyone to have, doesn't it?
The mining colonies in the fissures can work faster and without fatigue.
Imagine what our artificers could do with such a device.
Imagine if it got in the wrong hands, though.
Obviously, there are a few kinks to iron out. Give it a decade of careful research, and it will be ready.
We can be improving lives with Hextech now.
Putting that kind of power into everyone's hands is dangerous. Keep at it.
I agree with him, honestly. Like, imagine in Powder's hands right now. That would be very bad.
She shot me.
Who shot you? Who were you working for?
He'll kill me.
Silco?
I can protect you.
Caitlin Karaman. Why does that not surprise me?
Oh, there's Marcus. Does Silco on the last drop now? Disgusting.
She fired on us.
There are always mishaps in battle.
She's a problem and we all know it.
We? Who's we? You failed. Don't disappoint me again.
One of those firelight wackos was a girl with pink hair.
Oh, so she looked like Vi. It wasn't actually her.
Your sister's gone.
I know. Sisters, right? Can't live with them, can't stuff them back in the old baby maker.
I need to know that I can rely on you. I'm doing this for us, Jinx.
I don't like that.
The sons and daughters of Zon deserve more than their runoff.
They call her Jinx now.
Take some time.
I don't need time.
Take it anyhow.
I think you do. I mean, she's clearly still a child in a lot of ways, acting out and lashing out.
Heimerdinger is a great scientist, but he's old. He only ever sees the past. Piltover needs a leader who looks forward, someone like you. Hextech has the potential to change everything.
It also has the potential to destroy everything, too.
It's your speech. Give the people a glimpse of the future.
I don't know if you should listen to her. I mean, I was right.
It wasn't her.
That her gadgets were her strength.
I know, just some wannabe street trash. I got confused, that's all.
Oh.
Suvika's a regular Johnny on the spot. I'm not weak.
Girl, I'm a little worried about you.
Oh, I'm gonna show him. Y'all see.
I don't think that, I think Powder's got some issues that she needs to work out.
You should come up with me. We're partners.
No, not in front of all of them.
Guess it's time.
I feel bad for Victor though. He doesn't get to be like involved publicly at all. Like nobody knows that he has an involvement in this. It's just Jace. Do you think it's because Victor's from the Undercity? Do you think that's why he's not allowed to be up there with him? But wouldn't that present a united front? Wouldn't that be good? I don't know.
A few years ago, the Hex Gates opened their ports to the world and made Piltover prosper beyond anything we could have ever imagined.
Okay.
But we're not done yet. This year, we've created something new for you. Something that we will share with you when the time is right.
Oh. So he listened to Heimerdinger.
We vow to keep pressing forward, for we are the city of progress, and our future is bright.
Okay. Interesting. He didn't... I mean, I kind of agree with that decision, though.
Fire! Fire!
Oh, shit. Is it powder? Is it a trick?
I'm a helpless little girl, and I set the building up.
Yeah.
Get out! Now!
Also, I brought this dynamite. Goodbye.
Fuck. Powders, fucking shut up. Girl, why are you doing this?
The gemstone is gone, along with some of our research papers.
No one in the Undercity has claimed responsibility yet.
She took it.
For too long has the underground been left unchecked.
They may not be your preferred constituents, but they're still our people.
Mr. Tallis, could the trenchers build a weapon with the stolen crystal?
Shimmer? Body replacements? We've seen their ingenuity over the years. Of course they can.
Is he still playing with that toy?
I have come before you to recommend that we suspend all Hex Tech operations until the situation is resolved, including our laboratories, the refinery, and the Hex Gates.
The Hex Gates must remain open. Piltover's status as a global shipping lane depends on it.
Shouldn't the safety of Piltover be our first priority?
You would sacrifice your life's work?
Of course he would. They won't, cause...
Perhaps the time has come to explore a more radical solution.
What?
I propose that a new chair be brought forth, and that House Tallis be elevated to this august body.
I don't think that he wants that.
I believe Councillor Medarda is right. Hextech security should be administered by a scientist. I second the motion.
Well then, shall we vote?
But Victor's getting left behind in all of this. She's not listening at all.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
I do. Happy Progress Day!
I think that she's a lot more than he bargained for, you know?
All this time, they've kept their dealings localized to the Undercity. The attack on the square changes things. They've overstepped. If I can figure out who made this, it could lead me directly to whoever's behind it all.
Yeah. She is right.
How do you intend to prove any of this?
If I can just work this out, Marcus will have to listen.
Marcus already knows.
I need more than just theories.
Since when did you concern yourself with the council's opinion?
Well?
Since I became a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
You're serious?
Yep.
I was actually hoping you might consider joining my staff.
House Tallis Security. That's a ceremonial position. I'd live behind a desk.
You almost died, Kate. I just want you to be safe.
She doesn't want that.
But I already have a job.
No, you don't. After the attack, your parents spoke to the sheriff. This is the best I could do.
Don't need charity, counselor. Get out.
Is that her? Girl, where you going?
I need to speak with one of the inmates.
Folks in here aren't usually very
Oh.
talkative.
This one was hit by friendly fire. He's got reason to talk.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's not
He got
possible.
killed.
Why not?
Well, there's been
An accident.
an incident.
Who assaulted him?
Is it Vi? It is.
Who the hell are you?
Are they gonna work together? Because I'm kind of here for it. Honestly. Okay, you guys, so that episode was really, really good, and I'm very happy that it was not incredibly emotional like the last episode, so that I could just sit and kind of enjoy it and learn new information and, yeah, enjoy it. So, we have taken a time jump. We are some amount of years in the future, not exactly clear how many years in the future. I'm gonna say 10-ish, maybe. 8, 10, I don't know, in that general area, maybe more, maybe less. Again, it's unclear. But Silco has pretty much taken control of the underground along with Powder, who now goes by Jinx. And I think that he at some point had a pretty good control of her, and now is sort of entering the stage of losing control of her and what she's doing and why she's doing it. I also think that Powder has a lot of issues right now. She is very much haunted by her past and her first invention that actually worked and the casualties that caused. She has the Milo statue that she created. She paints her nails blue and pink. There's a lot of blue, but also I think her trousers were pink as well. So I kind of think that, I mean, obviously a part of her is holding on to Vi and to her past and to the family that she had and lost. And I think that she kind of created this new persona of Jinx to separate herself from who she was as Powder and the life that she had and the people that she loved and just who she was. And I think that it seems like right now those two warring parts of herself are battling for dominance, right? She is doing what she's doing now as Jinx, and it's kind of putting her at odds with who she was as Powder. And seeing the pink-haired girl with the guy with the owl mask, it made her think of Vi, and she was kind of really struggling, and she lost herself for a moment thinking of Vi and missing her and wanting her back. And so I think that I don't know, I don't want to give up on her, you know? I don't want to say that there's no chance that she could find redemption and find Powder again and change who she is. I do think it's going to be very hard for her. I think that the life that she's led since she lost Vander and Milo and Clagger and Vi and the life that she knew, I think it's been a very difficult life, and I think that she's had to divorce herself of Powder in order to become Jinx and to live the life that she's living. And I think that it seems to slowly be destroying her. And so I want to hope that she could be reunited with Vi, and that she could see her again and remember who she was and maybe try to work on becoming that person again. I think that it would take a lot. She has a lot of blood on her hands now, a lot of lives that she's ruined due to the person that she became in order to survive. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be really hard, but I think that I would like to see that journey for her. I would like to see her become Powder again and not have to justify the violence, because she's adapted to the life that she lives now, right? She became who she needed to be in order to be loved by Silco, right? In order to rebuild her family with Silco and his people. And I think that Silco isn't even like super happy with what she's doing, because Silco's goal that he told Vander in the last episode was for the underground to be free, to be its own thing, right? But then also ultimately for everything to be together and to have the nation of, not Soren, I was wrong. I still don't know what he's saying though. Zorn? Insert whatever it is here. But this isn't the way that I think that he thinks that they're going to get there. And I think that in his own twisted Silco way that he does care for Powder, aka Jinx. And I think that it's hard for him to, one, control her, and two, get through to her, you know, because a part of her has adapted herself to be like him. And I think that she's very unpredictable and volatile, and I don't know that this is necessarily exactly what he wanted. And yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think I'm just trying to understand their relationship and like what it is. I feel like it should be father-daughter based off of the age difference, but I'm not sure it is. And if it's not, it's a little bit like, ugh, to me, you know, I'm just saying. We also learned that the purple stuff has a name now. It is called Shimmer. It is a street drug, I guess. It's it seems like it's a drug now that people take, and Silco is kind of the kingpin, and he's using the last drop as his point of operation. And yeah, so they ship Shimmer to various places, and I guess people use it as a way to get high, attack. I mean, I don't know. Based off what we last saw of it, I don't know how they could do that, but maybe it's refined and reformed in some way since then. I am curious about who the guy in the owl mask is, and he runs something called the Firelights, and I'm not really sure who they are at first, because I thought that the girl with the pink hair actually was Vi. I thought it was Marcus, but that was crazy. The girl with the pink hair is not Vi. As we know, Vi is in prison. Can't remember the name of it. It starts with an S. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I am very curious about who the guy with the owl helmet is, and like who the Firelights are, and why they are trying to stop the Shimmer from being exported. Like, obviously we know it's bad, but what is, or was, because most of them are dead now, like, what was their motivation for it? Like, why were they doing it, you know? It's interesting to me. And also, I said it in the opening credits for one of the episodes, but if you guys have played Lost in Random, I cannot help but think of that game every time I see the owl helmet. And yeah, if you haven't played Lost in Random, you should. It's a really good game. It's pretty short, and I like the story, and it's fun to play. And it's pretty new. It just came out in like October, I think. Anyway, that's just my game recommendation for you. And I feel like it's appropriate in Arcane. Something else that I want to talk about in regards to Powder, aka Jinx, is that she kind of seems like she hasn't really emotionally grown out of being the child that she was when we last saw her. We know years have passed, but I think a large part of her is still that child who's acting out, who's trying to just figure out what her boundaries are, figure out who cares about her, and just figure out who she is. Because I think that, like I said, she lost who she was, and she created this persona of Jinx in order to survive as Silco's ward, or whatever you want to call it, you know? And so I think it's really interesting to watch her and to try to figure out like what's going on with her, because I genuinely think that she's very traumatized and very much in survival mode still, and trying to just keep going, you know? And that is not to excuse, please let it be clear, I'm not excusing the horrific things that she is doing, because girl's killing a lot of people, and like, we can understand why she's doing it, and we can try to figure out like what happened in the years in between when we last saw her and now that got her to this point. But just because we understand it doesn't mean that we are going to excuse it, because it's still not okay. She has murdered quite a few people just in this episode that we saw. And like, presumably that's not her first, her first body counts, like Milo, Clagger, those people. But presumably this isn't her first kills since then, you know? So I want to be clear that I do want to understand her character, and I do still kind of root for her, because I remember the kid that she was in the first 3 episodes. But just because I am trying to understand her character doesn't mean I'm trying to excuse the horrific things that she's doing. And I think that we should make that clear, because I think a lot of people can try to excuse horrific things with like, but I understand why they would do it. Like, yeah, I understand. That doesn't mean that it's okay that they did it, you know? I also really enjoyed Caitlin in this episode, and her relentless pursuit of the truth of what is happening. She's like a cool detective character, and I like her. I like her drive and her tenacity, and the fact that she's going after what she wants and trying to figure out the truth of what's happening. And I am excited / nervous to see what happens between her and Vi, and where that's gonna go, and nervous to see how Vi ended up where she ended up, assumedly Marcus, and what's happened to her in the years in between where we left her and where she is now, you know? I am excited for the possibility of a Caitlin Vi team up, because like, always here for badass women, always here for it. And I really like Caitlin, and I liked Vi when we left her where she was, when we last left off where she was then. I liked her. And so I'm excited to see her going forward, and yeah, learn more of her story and what she's had to go through in the years that we haven't seen her. Also, Jace and Hextech and Victor and Piltover have, since we last saw them. So Hextech like fully became a thing, and they used it to create hex gates, which like the only thing I can compare it to, and if you've seen Stargate SG-1, then you know why, is like Stargates, and they kind of take you to another place, right? They're like giant beaming pads, and we're sending you somewhere, right? That's at least my interpretation of what I think hex gates are. Loud ass freaking cars. Based off of what we heard in this episode. If that is wrong, please let me know down below, because I could be way off. I was quite confused at first. But I'm assuming that's what it is, because when the magician did the magic, when we first saw that happen with Jace, he took them to another place. And then the ship went to another place, right? And that's what the guy kind of talked about and when they were smoking and Caitlin before the tent blew up and all the enforcers got killed. Or a bunch of them, obviously not all of them. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Jace. I was like, where was I going with that? Heimerdinger, I still adore Heimerdinger. I just think he's adorable. And honestly, I agree with his position on a lot of things. I love his little cute creature. I desire it. I know it's not real, but it's very cute. And I think Jace's story is really interesting because I don't think that he necessarily wanted the power of being a counselor, but I also think that Jace has a very naive view of what Piltover is and who the people in power are. And I think that this can maybe help him sort of realize the truth of the fact that the people in power are always going to care about money and power and keeping their position versus helping people, right? So I think that it's good that he wants to suspend working on the gym and everything because he realizes the negative implications that it can have, because it can. Like when Heimerdinger was talking to him, I'm like, yes, this progress you're making is great, but think of it in the wrong person's hands. It's incredibly dangerous. And knowing that, you have to be careful about who you let access this technology, you know? And so, yeah. I also think that Victor seems to be getting left behind in all of this, and I can't help but think that it's due to the fact that he is from the Undercity and the Underground, and that they don't want to be associated, or him to be associated with their progress, even though he is just as much a part of it as Jace is. He's his partner. He helped him figure everything out. But I think that Jace is the safe face of the company and like the handsome, presentable one. And Victor is, you know, he's not the image they want to present, and so they're not presenting him, you know? And I think that you can see in this episode Victor feeling more and more like he's getting left behind. And I think that can be dangerous. I wish that Jace would be more insistent on Victor being a part of it, because I do think that he maybe has more power than he realizes in that. But maybe Victor's okay with not going on stage and all that stuff. I don't know. But it feels like he's being pushed into the background and not that he's choosing to be there. So we'll just have to see where that progresses going forward. I also worried that he's sick because he's like coughing and he's got his cane, and like, is he okay? A little bit worried about it. I don't think that there's anything else that I have to say, so I am going to end it here. As always, if you want to see more, you can go over to Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to watch the next episode right now over there, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode thus far of Arcane. And yeah, I am going to leave it there until next time. Bye, guys.